So one truth we all know about relocation is that it will change your life. But whether it will change it for the better or for the worse is something we do not know. It's an interesting topic, and that's what I'm talking about it today. And there are some factors we have to look at to properly have a sense of what this topic itself really is, right? And those factors include, why are you relocating? Secondly, where are you relocating to? Thirdly, what route will you be taking? And lastly, what will you be doing after your relocation? You see, if you are able to properly answer this question, then you will be somewhat on the path of getting the best out of your relocation. So today I'll be talking about my own reason behind why I've decided to leave Nigeria for the United Kingdom. Secondly, I'll be talking about why I've decided that United Kingdom is where I want to go to. Thirdly, I'll be talking about what route I took in my own relocation journey. And for subsequent videos, I'm going to be discussing the things I will be engaging myself in while in the UK to ensure I don't become unfortunate, you get. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We are about to go on a journey together. So my name is Tunde Phillips. Stick with me and let me give you the best of my own relocation story. But what I would like to tell anyone who is looking to relocate from any country to another country is to ask yourself honestly, why do you want to travel? Why do you want to relocate? The moment you are able to give a befitting answer to this question, then you would likely excel. I don't know what my faith is here, but I just have this strong conviction that I have good enough reasons to want to leave. So I think you should ask yourself that question as well. So away from that, what are my own reasons? Why did I decide to relocate out of Nigeria? So the first is that as a boy, 7-year-old, a lover of Fuji music, my favorite musician is Saheed Osupa, by the way.
My favorite Fuji singer right now, his name is Osupa Saeed. He's badass.
And Saheed Osupa went on a tour of the United Kingdom around 1999 to 2000. So when he got back, he made the album recounting his experience, and he talked about the places he visited, the kind of foods he ate, the people he met, and I was really it was like we went there together. And from then on, I wanted to just go to the United Kingdom as well. Let me see these people, let me eat this food, let me go to these places. But it remained a dream, since I listened to the album. London Delight is the title, by the way. So away from that, that's like my first reason. I want to go to the UK. As a 7-year-old, I knew I wanted to just go and see these things. Secondly, a lover of travel. With time, I discovered I really like to travel. I want to travel to places, and I want to tell stories about places, and also encourage people to do the same thing. So I even have a belief, right, that on the judgment day, we won't only be judged by our good deeds, we'll be judged by how many places we visited outside of our comfort zone, right? And it's just my own really, but take that aside. But the second reason is simply because I love to travel, and everyone who knows me can testify to this. And thirdly, because of my love for travel, I decided to build a travel community, comprising of people who are interested in joining me on trips. Let's go to places within Nigeria, to just go relax and do stuff and all. And that was the inspiration behind why I have to go to other places outside Nigeria. Let me go and see what other places look like, and I can also then invite my community members. Let's do this, let's go to other places. And interestingly, over the past couple of years, say 2-3 years ago, about a quarter of the community members are scattered around the world, and that's even making it much more interesting. So it means for people who are still in Nigeria, in the community, whenever they have an opportunity to come to Europe or to come anywhere in the world, it's easy for me to make something happen, right? So basically, those are like the reasons why I decided, you know what, since this is something I've always wanted to do, why not just do it. It was a difficult decision, I won't lie to you, because as at the time when I was traveling, I just gotten a good job in Nigeria, and I was like, do I stay, do I go? But I had to just go, because I looked at what the potentials of leaving Nigeria to the UK holds for me. So those are my own reasons for leaving. And next is to tell you what route I decided to settle for fencing. Let me just get that off. Except you are fully sponsored, right? Then you don't have to worry about the amount you're paying. But again, there are a lot of routes, just like many other countries, that you can take to get into the UK. So for me, I had a couple of options that I was looking to explore. The first of them was the Tech Nation. So Tech Nation is basically a visa route that tech talents from other countries explore to get into the UK. So it basically means if you have some required skill set and you meet some criteria, you will get the visa and you will get into the UK. So I tried that, but they didn't give me the visa. And the good thing about the UK is if they reject you for whatever reason, you'll be told why you've been rejected. So I got that. It was a tiny mistake, but still I don't need to cry over spilled milk. What I needed to do was just pack my bag. Oh yeah, what other thing can we explore? Let's go. And spoke with my wife. We decided, okay, why don't we explore the master's route? Although it's, I think, the most expensive of the possible routes you can take to the UK. I don't know how correct that is, but I think it's the most expensive, right? So we decided to just pull resources together. Speak with a couple of friends. How far can I see so amount from you there? Yeah, give me money, I want to do this. And my friends were really helpful. My wife's friends were really helpful, give us money, and then pulled resources together, and we decided to pursue the education route. So the education route is pretty much the most popular, like I said. And what that means is, if you already have a degree and you're looking to go pursue your master's in the UK, if you meet the requirements, just pay the required amount for school fees, and provide some relevant documents, and you're on your way. So the education route is like almost very sure. Like, you don't need to even stress yourself. If you've applied and you've met all the criteria, you don't need to really stress yourself. So we decided to take the education route, and it was pretty easy, but we had a couple of challenges here and there, but it was just the route we eventually took after the Tech Nation did not work. So I'm talking about the Tech Nation because I need to let you know also that those disappointments, those things that you experience along the journey will only just make the journey interesting. So if you've tried doing anything and it's not working, just keep doing it. You might just want to change your route, and it will still hit it at the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much what I will say about the route we decided to take. The moment we identified the route we want to take, it's for school. So the first thing we had to do was dedicate an entire month to take in as many resources as possible. So it means watching a lot of YouTube videos, reading a lot of blogs, on the internet, and speaking with a lot of people that have actually relocated through this route, because this will help you prevent a lot of mistakes, right? And it's what I would want to first suggest to anyone looking to relocate using the education route. So for us, I was the project manager, and that's for me and my wife, right? I was the project manager, and what I did was drafted a year-long plan because that was the time we were willing to dedicate to this plan. So I drew up a 1-year plan, and I was able to itemize the key goals we want to achieve for each of the months leading to the end of the 1 year, right? So for each of those goals, what are the tasks that we want to carry out in each of those months, and how do we want to manage everything efficiently? And during the 12-year plan as well, we made provision for unforeseen circumstances that may want to derail the plan, and eventually everything worked out well. But I will let you know where the journey almost looked like it won't happen, so stay with me. Since it was for school, the first thing we did was, like I said, we made a lot of findings, and then we looked at list of schools, and we decided to pick 5 schools based on criteria such as the cost of school fees, availability of scholarship, the ranking of the school, and also the mix of international students in the school, because it's important to us as well, and as well as how strong is the alumni base of the school, right? So these were the conditions, or these were the criteria we looked at for choosing the schools we chose. And I really can't tell off the top of my head now the names of the school, but eventually we settled for the University of Bradford. Even though it's one of the most expensive of the options we chose, we decided to go for it because I think it's going to give us some advantages in terms of the living expenses, because Bradford is in a low-cost environment, or low-cost part of the UK. So it means when we eventually add up the cost of living over time, it will be better for us to pay a huge amount for school fees and then pay so low in terms of living expenses. And also in subsequent videos, I'm going to be breaking down how much we spend, in a typical month, so you will be able to understand exactly why I think this decision made sense for us. So that's on the choice of school. So that was the first thing we did. To all these schools, we wrote we applied, right? And one core part of the application process is for you to write a personal statement, and we wrote personal statements as well. And at the end of the day, within the space of, I think, 1 month, all the school came in with offer of provisional admission, and every one of them gave my wife a scholarship, a partial scholarship, by the way. So we have to still settle for the University of Bradford, like I had said. But like I said, it's just a provisional admission. That is a conditional admission, rather. So it means we are giving you an admission, but you have to still do a few things before we make this admission, valid. Let me put it that way. And what are those things? You need to show us that you've done your tuberculosis test, and you need to prove to us also that you have a valid travel document. In this case, it's just your travel passport. And thirdly, you have to show that you can comfortably take care of yourself, your living expenses throughout your stay in the UK. So these things are like what you have to go and provide. Once you've been able to do that, you would present that to the school, and they will be able to now give you a document called a CAS, right? So CAS is synonymous to a document you would have to take as part of your application documents to the embassy. Let's put it that way, to show them that, oh, this school has given me admission, and this is my CAS, showing that they said you people should give me visa. So I'm just trying to water things down, but that's basically what the CAS is. So we got the admission, we sorted out the entire tuberculosis test, we got the certificates, we also did the proof of fund thing. And at the time when we did the proof of fund, this is where it gets interesting. I think the exchange rate, the naira to dollar at the time, was around 400 and something. That's the official rate, was around 400 and something. So it was cool, and it was pretty stable, right? And that was also the period when the Nigerian elections took place, so around that time. So things were still pretty stable from the previous government to the new one. So we did that, we presented it, the school gave us the cast, and we were able to get that. So what was left for us was to go apply for our visa. And between that time till the time when we want to apply for our visa, we were still maintaining the proof of fund, right, to still show that the money is still there for a period of 28 days. So we were already, everything was going on fine. And then something happened. We planned on applying for our visa on a Sunday, and as at the Saturday, or as at the Friday, the rate was still around 400 and something naira to the dollar. So it was, everything is fine, right? But dramatically, the amount started moving from Friday on 400 and something to 500 to 600 and to 700. I think within a space of 3 days or 4 days, it moved from 400 to 700. So what that meant was that the entire proof of fund history that we've been building is dashed. It means we can no longer use that statement. So it means we have to start again from the beginning. So it has to take another 28 days, and it means you have to add more money. So another thing was that the initial amount we had budgeted for the two of us in terms of living expenses will now no longer be enough. So it means that we have to now collapse that and use it for one person. So it means we have to give that to my wife, who is the main applicant, and I have to now put in for a new proof of fund, put another money in the account and wait for it to get matured. So it means again that myself and my wife would no longer apply together. So she would apply first, and then I'll apply later. So and that was why we were grateful for putting the space we put, in our 1 year plan. We put, I think, about 2 months or 3 months in case anything goes wrong, and the first thing has just gone wrong. So we waited. My wife's proof of fund, got matured, and she applied for her own visa. She got it. For me, I had to wait for an extra, I think, 1 month for my own to also mature. And by the time mine was maturing, and mind you, we had already, booked our flight. We booked our flights. Let's say we traveled in September. We booked our flights since April. I don't know where we got that kind of confidence, but it was just part of the plan that, we book our flight, and then we got our flight for around, I think, 700k for the two of us, right? So, and we got that on, I think, Wakana. I don't know, I can't remember the website anymore. We booked our flight, and we were able to pay, in bits. So that made it easy for us to pay for the flight, even if it was 700k. We're able to comfortably split it across, I think, 3 months or 4 months, right? So we're able to do that. So we got it for that amount. So it means that our travel date is fixed, so we can't change anything, right? So she got her own visa. I was waiting for mine. I haven't gotten mine even until the end of August, right? I haven't still gotten my visa because I was waiting for my proof of fund, so I had to put in my application pretty late. And one thing that helped us was the fact that we didn't use the what I think helped us. I'm not so sure. We didn't apply for the visa at the Ikeja Center. Instead, we applied at the VI Center. So it means we had to pay extra money to get that done. So I think it has an advantage. I don't know, I'm not sure. But she applied for her visa. She got her own visa within 4 working days, right? I put in my visa. and I also got it within 4 working days, even though we were already thinking we won't travel together. And the situation was much more intense because if we fail to travel together, it means I have to call the airline company to cancel my own flight. So it means I have to pay the actual amount prevalent at the time, and around that time flight cost was around 1 million, right? So it's really a big thing. So that was a worrying situation if you try to get the picture. So another worrying thing is that if I fail to travel for whatever reason with my wife between September and December, for whatever reason, let's say my visa got rejected or whatever, it means I would never be able to go with her for the foreseeable future. Let me put it that way, because by January, the UK government has, assured everybody that the education route will now be done such that dependents can no longer travel with their spouse. So that's another worrying thing. But I was just, quite confident, and to a reasonable extent, I'm big on faith, and I was just confident. My wife was really worried, but I was just like, don't worry, things will be fine. And I put in my visa application, and within 4 working days, I got an email to come pick it up. I went to the center, picked it up. I didn't even know what a visa looks like. I haven't gotten one before, and I was worried because the reference number on the visa was written in red ink. So I thought that indicated rejection, but I just took it. Got home, opened it, showed my wife that, I think these people have bounced me or something, But she looked at it, she brought out her own. Her own too was written in the same red ink. I was like, okay. So I called my friend Ben. Ben, how far? Ben had traveled, I think, the week before. Ben, how far? Please send me your visa. Send me your visa page. Let me see if this thing is the same, because Ben also went with his wife using the same route. So if I can match both visa pages together and everything corresponds, then I would assume my visa was approved. So Ben sent me his own, almost immediately. I compared, and I was able to say, okay, I think these people are giving me, my visa. So I was pretty excited about that. So it means that I got my visa, I think on the 4th of September, and our planned travel date was the 11th. So even though we had been, planning, buying a few things, selling off a few things in the house, we were doing all those things without my own visa ready yet. And I was just, not concerned at all, even though I was a bit worried. But that was really something huge, if you know what I mean. So we had just about how many days to properly prepare, visit friends, visit family, to say bye. And so that was pretty much how the entire thing went. And eventually the travel date came. I think that was on the 11th of September. So we had booked an Ethiopian airline, and we went to the airport, left Nigeria. Yeah, the airport was another case on its own, right? But we eventually, pulled through, left Nigeria. We were supposed to have an, I think, 8-hour layover in Addis Ababa, but we couldn't. We were just being taken to different countries to go and pick more people and whatnot. So it was a bit stressful, but at the same time, it was, an enjoyable moment for me as well, and my wife, because we really have been wanting to do this, and we're eventually doing it. So we landed in Manchester Airport on the 12th. We left Nigeria on the 11th. We landed in Manchester on the 12th, and it was the first time I will be traveling to another country. The first time in my life using an airplane. right? And it was really a moment, for me, especially when the breeze started to blow my face, and I started, I didn't know how to feel, so I wouldn't say, oh, this is how I felt. I didn't know how to feel, because until like the third day I really didn't understand. Like I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that, oh, I've actually left Nigeria. So that was really an interesting thing, like an interesting moment for me, actually. So during the subsequent videos, we'll be painting more vivid pictures about my travel, my experiences and all. But this is more like an introduction, to let you know what the plans will be, and how long it will take for us to really get to the destination. So yeah, I'll be moving on now to let you know what the plans will be, for my own coming to the UK. Then is to just explore the world, like I already told you, and it has to start from somewhere. So it started from Nigeria. I was able to see a lot of places in Nigeria, and also help a lot of my community members see Nigeria with me. So now I'm in the UK. It means I'm a step closer to helping my community members, and in fact more people will be joining the community to see more of the world, right? So this is Europe. There are a lot of countries in Europe as well, so why don't we do that, and we can continue the journey from the UK here. So in a couple of subsequent videos, it's going to be about where I'll be going to, where I'll be exploring, what are the tips I would have for you in case you're looking to settle in a new country, especially in the UK, what has worked for me, what are the mistakes I have made, and all those things. And I would want to just ensure that this is what you're you get. So I think the video will be brought to an end here, so I just want you to subscribe, like my video if you actually like it. So I won't guilt trip you into liking. So if you actually like what the conversation has been about, or what you've heard me say since, just like the video, subscribe, and if you subscribe, it means you're encouraging me to do more, so I really appreciate that as well, right? So till we meet next time, my name is Tunde Phillips, and we will be here for a while. Yeah, trust me. Bye.